timing it, I was getting like 9 minutes, 7 minutes,
Perfect, gotcha.
3 minutes. So.
3 minutes, gotcha. All right. Ready whenever you are.
Okay. When I die, I want all the people at my funeral, well, I want all the people I've ever worked on small group projects with throughout school to lower me into my grave so they can let me down one last time.
Wow.
That's what I thought until my sophomore year of college. And what changed was my experience in the small group communications class at Merced College. It wasn't because of my design skills, of which I have a lot, and it wasn't because of the people that I had. Like, there were better group members, but I tend to blame a lot of the problems of small groups that I'm in on people I'm with. See, our assignment in that class was a semester-long project to create a board game and present it on finals day. And most of them came out looking like elementary school arts and crafts projects with cardboard and glitter glue and celebrities' faces cut out of magazines, pasted on a cardstock and folded up so that it would stand upright. But ours, we could have sold that thing. Like, it was arguably the best board game in the entire world, possibly even our class. But it wasn't because that my group members were any better than previous groups I've been in. You know, one of them smoked more weed than he did actually taking time to form coherent thoughts. One of them, worked 40 hours a week and didn't have a lot of time outside of class to dedicate to the project. One of them barely spoke English, and there was this one fine honey who had a body like one of those old glass Coke bottles, legs for days, waist-long hair. Oh my God, I had the biggest crush on her. So, obviously I got to show off some of my leadership skills to, catch her attention, right? So I take charge of this group. With my previous project management experience, I say, okay, here are our goals. Here are, the key points that we're going to hit. Here's a rough timeline. But I did one thing that I contributed to the success of this project to more than anything else. When we were defining roles and responsibilities, I individually addressed each member and asked, where do you feel most comfortable? From there, we determined the strengths of every single person there and took our goals and molded them to the strengths of each person. And I unknowingly applied this to my own leadership there too. I have two warring sides of me that often conflict and relegate me to one of two positions in small groups. I'm either the bricklayer for someone else's ideas. If someone else in the group is more assertive than me, I just take their ideas and I don't provide any input. I don't provide any idea. I don't provide any feedback. I just do what they tell me. Or I don't trust anyone else in the group to do anything, and I just take that entire thing, do it myself. You just stay over there. I'll do everything, right? My tendency was going to be to do that with this group, and I'm not sure why, but instead I involved everyone else. And how that strengths approach affected my leadership was I took those two sides of me, the creative side that would do all the design work, and the analytical side that would do all the problem solving. And I took on two roles that married those two sides of me better than the two roles that I had adopted previously. So the first was at the beginning. I was chief problem solver. I was directing the group, taking ideas, figuring out which direction to go in. Also, and that determined like the group goals, right? But then after, I said, hey, you guys come up with the ideas. You guys write the rules to this board game. You guys draw the initial designs. And I'll take my wizardry skills in Photoshop, take your designs, and be quality control, refine them, and put them together in Photoshop, send them off to a printing company, and we had the best game in the world. Just as the individual group members' strengths determined their roles and responsibilities, and that made them complementary to each other, so too was my leadership complementary to theirs because it was based around my strengths. Northhouse says, effective teams possess broad groupings of strengths that are complementary to each other, that work together to achieve the end goal. And finally, in closing, after our group had disbanded, the semester had ended, time had passed. You know how on Snapchat, like, you can add people from their phone numbers? Well, I got a notification from the fine girl from my board game group. Thanks.
All right, very good. All right, who wants to give feedback?
My name's Caden. I liked your introduction just because it shocked us. I didn't expect you to say that, and it just hooked me in to listen.
Anything to work on?
What do I work on?
Oh, my bad. I was just telling you what I like. My bad. I wanted to hear more about the game board, to be honest. I didn't even know what the game board was.
Yeah,
so.
honestly, I wish I would have brought it, but it was at my parents' house in Merced, and I couldn't make the trip.
Yeah, I hear you. You could just snap a picture.
Yeah, I tried, but they didn't get it to me in time.
Yeah, no, all good, all good. So we don't have much time, so I'll keep my feedback brief. I'll give you more extended one on Friday if you ask me. But great presentation. I think the biggest highlight from this presentation is it was just a good old average group project. There's nothing more boring than a lower division group class. And I can say that since I teach those, and now I avoid teaching those. And you turn it into something epic, and that's what you can do with language. It was the understated humor, it was the irony, it was the sarcasm, it was the looping back around, it was the introduction connecting to the conclusion. So all excellent examples of storytelling. I think the highlight was your language and word choice. So good job. Before you all go, you can grab a seat. Let's give them one more round of applause. That applause is for you, not for me, for you. So when it comes down to this process before you go, I'm seeing what I like. I like what I see.